UTRGV-TV is brought to you in part by Information Technology. For more information, visit utrgv.edu/IT.
Welcome to another edition of UTRGV-TV. I'm Mary Guerra. Thank you for joining us. For the 2016 election, different methods were used, making voting easier, which has led to a historical turnout. The 2016 presidential elections has had a bigger turnout than previous years here at the Valley. UTRGV students, who are mostly millennials, are doing their part.
You have power when you have numbers. And so as a Latino community, if we vote in high numbers, we will show the policymakers that we are a force to contend with.
16,722 UTRGV students are registered to vote, and as of October 31st, 4,961 students have casted their votes already. For the first 3 days of early voting, poll numbers hit a high record compared to the 2012 elections. Voters were able to show their driver's license or any other form of ID to cast their votes.
And by having it here at the university, which is one of the largest employers and one of the largest institutions really in Hidalgo County, we were able to say, hey, we have 28,000 students, 28,000 plus students, and 22,000 or so are here in Edinburgh, right? And so I look at all the employees, we have thousands of employees. If we put this voting location here and we make it convenient and accessible.
Using new methods such as the limited ballot, which allows voters to cast their votes for only the state and federal candidate as long as they're registered in the county. Voters have stopped by the university to cast their votes because of the calmness of students' voice.
It's different in terms of who's voting, who's turning out. The demographics in America are changing, and that's a really important thing. And people who don't usually vote are voting, and that's exciting and important.
An election that brought not just the Valley, but students into the polling sites. In Edinburgh, Mary Guerra, UTRGV-TV. The concerns keep on growing with UTRGV students' bikes being confiscated on campus. Our reporter Sarah Garcia has more.
In the past few weeks, bikes have been missing from the UTRGV campus, but it's not the usual bike thief that's leaving students without their wheels.
Bikes have been taken away by the University Police Department for security purposes, but for some students, there was no warning.
I was shocked because, it wasn't there and the rest of the bikes were there.
The police department here on campus got the initiative of developing an action that will teach students an important lesson.
Well, the main reason why they took the bike was because they told me it was for security purposes. So I guess in a way to know, how it feels for someone to take your bike. And they were also taking bikes that didn't have the sticker, the permit, and mine didn't have it.
College campuses like UTRGV can attract professional bicycle thieves. Properly securing your bicycle with a quality lock will reduce a theft opportunity. 39 bikes got confiscated in the past 2 weeks. Out of the 39, 27 have been returned to their owners, and the rest have not been claimed.
Make sure you register your bike with the police department, use an appropriate bike rack, and a lock. For UTRGV-TV, I'm Sarah Garcia.
UTRGV remains in transition. This time, change is influenced by our location near the border. Soon, coursework may be delivered in 2 languages. Our reporter Daniel Rodriguez has more.
UTRGV will be looking to broaden the horizon by giving students a chance to take bilingual courses outside the Spanish class.
That this new university would explore biculturalism, bilingualism, and biliteracy as part of how the university engages its curriculum and its programming. And so this is in many ways guidance that the state of Texas is giving us through its governing body, that is the University of Texas Board of Regents.
The university will give staff the option to teach in either English or in Spanish.
What we're doing now is we're asking faculty who is interested and who is ready to do instruction through another language, Spanish or bilingual.
This will allow opportunities for students that no other university will offer.
Sometimes I struggle with English, in understanding sometimes what my professors say. So by having a course that I could actually say, I could take this in English or I could take this in Spanish, it could be really beneficial for me.
The tuition will be the same for the whole university, and you can have the option to choose between bilingual or English courses of your choice. UTRGV is hoping to transition their change by spring of 2017.
In Edinburgh, Texas, UTRGV-TV, Danielle Rodriguez.
If you're scared of heights, this is your chance to overcome your fear by competing in the REC Turkey Challenge. UTRGV REC staff mentions that every participant has a chance to win a turkey by competing the most reps on any route. Gain the experience of climbing the second largest rock wall in a Texas university. Whether new or experienced, take a shot at the Turkey Challenge.
If we have a cool challenge like this, it'll bring more people in. More people want to try it from outside the community as well, and they'll get to see the kind of facilities we have here at the UTRGV. And again, with as far as the community goes, it shows that UTRGV is an awesome school. We have all these cool things here down in the valley, and you don't have to go wherever out there. You can stay right here.
Kick off November by taking the gold. The winners will be chosen on the 19th. Give it the best you got, vaqueros. From November 1st through December 19, the UTRGV Library will be accepting toys. Donated toys can replace payments of library fines. If you're going to donate, purchase toys for kids ages 2 through 12.
First of all, in the spirit of the holiday season, we're able to go ahead and do a little something to brighten the holiday for children in need and for those families who may not be able to afford toys for their children. And also, this allows us the opportunity to encourage folks to donate and at the same time clear up any outstanding fines they might have with the library.
Stuffed animals and toys representing weapons will not be allowed. Even if you don't have a fine, the library welcomes all to donate. For more information, you can visit the circulation desk at your library's location. Dia de los Muertos is a day to remember the passing of loved ones. The university continued this tradition by celebrating it on November 2nd. Our reporter Ileana Luna has more on the story.
Dia de los Muertos continues to be popular in our world today, which many participated in.
Here at Special Collections and Archives, we collect a lot of materials that are very important to the history of the region. And of course, Dia de los Muertos is very important to the history of the region. There's a long-standing tradition of it being celebrated here.
Even during a busy week, some students took the time to celebrate a tradition that is important to them.
In Mexico, which is also done traditionally here on the border, people will go to the graveyards and clean up the graves, place flowers on the graves, and again, the traditions will vary in different parts of Mexico. In Mexico, the family might even stay overnight.
Dia de los Muertos, a celebration that brings the past and the present together. In Edinburgh, for UTRGV-TV, Ileana Luna.
Here's Daniel Gavon with the latest in sports.
It's the day after my favorite holiday of the year, daylight savings time. Shout out to all the farmers out there not having to be lonely with that extra hour of sunlight. But it's yet another UTRGV Sportscast. The first one this November, hashtag no paved roads, November. And there is so much athletic action, so let's get started. Number one, you look good today. Yeah, you. The thing you did with your hair that you thought no one would notice, I totally noticed, and that lights my flame. Number two, by the way, like my video. Number two, male footy sport. The UTRGV men's soccer team accomplished a lot this weekend. They watched Dr. Strange. They culled the weak goats from the herd, and they did something really, really cool on the pitch. The stakes were high as they played away for San Jose State, that's in California, in a game where the winner would go on to the WAC tournament. A big deal, and after being down 1-0, they faced adversity, but UTRGV bounced back first with the bicycle kick goal from Brownsville's Isidro Martinez, and then Isaiah Hines used his speed to net the game winner off of a Sammy Titinen assist. Here's a picture of the team celebrating the win next to the scoreboard. Shout out to Frederick Frankman going with the shirtless look, and here's a double shout out to Fred Frankman, because last week he had 2 wonder goals, and if you missed them, here they are superimposed on his abs. First the free kick, and then the bicycle kick goal he scored against Air Force. Beautiful. So the team will be playing in the WAC tournament, and their first round matchup will be up against UNLV. Here's a random video of UTRGV anchor Eric Garrett dancing. Moving on to the sport of volleyball. It was the last home game, I was crying, of the year as UTRGV took on the top team in the conference, New Mexico State. Now, the team faced adversity super early as one of the team's offensive stars, Bojana Mitrovic, was injured in the second set. It was a tough one, but here's hoping she gets back healthy quickly because Bojana is a fantastic player, but more importantly, a fantastic person off the court. When the injury did happen, though, the team was down 1-0 against a team that has only one conference loss, but UTRGV bounced back to win the second set as well as the fourth set, ultimately forcing a fifth set. The team lost that one 59, but losses are tough, but the effort was something to be proud of. I mean, there was a lot to build on as the conference tournament is just 2 weeks away, and history was made during the game, by the way. The Chicago Cubs were in the building, probably the coolest thing they did the entire week, but also freshman middle blocker Barbara Silva set the single-season UTPA UTRGV record for blocks. She now has 142 blocks this year. I've only been blocked 123 times on various social media platforms. And it is straight up absurd, by the way, for her to accomplish that feat because, one, she has 2 regular season games left and a conference tournament left, and 2, she's a freshman. Now, Silva's a freshman, but it was a day to remember the 5 seniors. 5 of them suited up for their last home game, and we will remember them individually. First, you got outside hitter Fernanda Faustino. She's one of the 3 Brazilians on the team. Very cool, and she deserves so much credit, I think, for the way she fought and scrapped to get to the D1 level. First, she went from Brazil on to Sterling, Colorado to play at Northeastern Junior College. Then she went to Eastern Florida State her sophomore year, spending some time at Disney World, and then making her way to Virginia Union University as a junior, hanging out at Monticello. And lastly, she arrived at UTRGV at the D1 level as a senior. The second player the team said goodbye to was Joanna Baranczyk. She is the tallest player on the team. She's 8'9". She's a middle blocker from Jaworzno, Poland. Pretty sure I pronounced that incorrectly, but she had a career-high 6-kill game last year versus Grand Canyon. Another senior on the team is Megan Dempsey. She's an outside hitter from Murrieta, California. Murrieta, California, by the way, is home to many famous athletes, including Barry Bonds, Ricky Fowler, and Megan Dempsey. Dempsey had a kill in the game against New Mexico State. She had some playing time. She had 4 different 10-kill games in her collegiate career thus far. And independent of what she brings to the court, it's easy to see the positive impact she makes from an energy standpoint and helping her team get together and create chemistry. And like a thrilling game of bingo, we got 2 seniors left. First, we'll start with the lone libero on the team, Fatoumata Da Costa. She's from Senegal, and I learned a lot watching her play the libero position this year. I never realized a human being could move in so many different directions so quickly. You know, Niall, Harry, and Zane lied to me. Da Costa is just a straight-up phenomenal defender. As you can see by her awesome dig highlight. She's had over 500 digs this season, averaging nearly 5 per set. With her defensive ability, her ability to cover a lot of space in a short amount of time, along with a great reaction time to go with the skill set of putting together quality passes, Da Costa is a star for this team. And speaking of stars, that brings me to the last senior, Alicia Watson. She's an outside hitter from Round Rock, Texas. And when you kind of go back and you look at how much this volleyball program has grown and likely will continue to grow, Watson was and is a foundational piece to that growth. She's like Dora the Explorer without Dora. There ain't no explorer, and then Swiper would be unemployed. But from her talent level to her competitiveness to her intangibles, she's a special player, one of the best athletes to play for UTPA, UTRGV this century. Granted, this century is only 17 years old, but still, she played in all 4 years in Edinburgh, and currently she's at 1,024 career kills, 126 career service aces, and 421 sets played. And the coolest thing about Watson is that in the future, she is going to be a medical doctor, which is really, really awesome. And in the future, I'll still be in college. That leaves 2 games on the road for UTRGV. You got a conference tournament. I'm super excited. Do you hear that squirrel noise? That squirrel noise means it's time for One Question with Barbara Krug, my favorite segment each week because I don't have to talk during it. One Question with Barbara Krug. Barb, can I call you Barb? Is that cool? Barb. I love Stranger Things. Barb, one question. How does the circumference of a sphere relate to a helium proton?
You know, I could answer that question, obviously, but this time I want to try something new.
What's the new thing you want to try? I'm assuming you want to ask me a question, which I will gladly answer any question.
Okay, you know, because every week you come up with all UTRGV athletics and do your notes and work on your awesome, great, highly impressive jokes. But this time I want to change it up and report on you.
So you're not asking me a question. You think you can report on me? Absolutely. I go to school for this, and you think you can do it? Absolutely. All right, whatever.
Let's get started. First, some people say Daniel isn't an athlete. I disagree. Here he is showcasing his greatest athletic skill, eating. Lovely. Somewhere a panda is crying. Why? Because of this fashion fiasco. This is more embarrassing for the panda community than a Kung Fu Panda sequel. That's too much sweating, bro. Too much sweating. Spider-Man. With great power comes great regrets. I think you officially ruined Christmas. Great talking ability. And the way you were able to move your mouth and keep your eyes open at the same time, very impressive.
That does it for this week's Sportscast, guys. Tomorrow is the election, and I don't know what to say. Just go and hug somebody, because it's been a pretty awful 6 months. Reporting for UTRGV-TV, if I'm still around, I'm Daniel Galvan.
That's all we have for you today. But remember, if you have a story idea you'd like for us to know about, you can find us on our social media pages, Facebook and Twitter, or send us an email at utrgvtv@gmail.com. Thank you for joining us, and see you next time.